going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Financial advisor Scott Beasley knows time spent with family is everything. As a founder of Beasley Wealth Management, his mission is to give clients the freedom to enjoy time with family without the burden of financial concerns. A local of Lawrenceburg, Scott deeply values building relationships with clients, ensuring they make informed decisions concerning asset management, tax planning, and retirement planning. Offering a free initial consultation, Beasley Wealth Management helps clients pursue their aspirations with confidence. A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen. At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Shop McMaster's Home Gallery for furniture, appliances, and more. And shop quality, shop convenience, shop service, shop local. A family-owned business with a long history of serving the region. We're a one-stop home furnishings destination. We feature brands you know, competitively priced, backed by professional installation and service. You can trust that we'll take good care of you before and after the sale. For your home, shop smart. Shop McMaster's Home Gallery today.
There are now more ways to save at QuickMart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at QuickMart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available on the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
All right, welcome everybody here to X Sports Live. AJ Good here with Bryant, Gobble, and if you see that we change a little bit on the screen, Sam Camp, our expert on handling. Where did you go on that? I'm learning something new at the same time as you guys are. But Brian and I, we just came from the UNA press conference, end of the season press conference for the football team, and Brian just kind of, just so you know, kind of. Well, we were trying to figure out the lights. Like, it actually doesn't look half bad on here.
Yeah.
But in here, it feels like we are either under a Burger King headlamp, or we're on the seventh.
I have
a
a gecko at home. Do you know that? I have a gecko at home, and we gotta have a heat lamp for him. And that's why I feel like this is like what he experiences. Yeah, that's what I feel like. We're like an amphibian or a reptile underneath a heat lamp right now. It's not hot, but like the aura, I guess, if you will, still similar. But the UNA press conference, that's pretty long, like pretty lengthy.
That's one of the longest I've ever been in, to be honest. I've been in a lot of season-ending press conferences, firings, hirings. Yeah, I can't remember one that was an hour and 15 minutes, but we learned a lot in the process.
We did. It was some good speaks, trying to inject some optimism into this upcoming year. UNA didn't, in no case, had the season that they wanted. They were competitive in some games, and you're like, wow, what's this UNA team? And then some other games they'd get blown out or blow a lead or something like that. So, Coach Dearman has been thanks, Sam. You go right ahead. You make your cameo.
This is the guy that changed it to make us look a whole lot better.
Sam Camp,
and I learned something in the process. Thank you, Samuel.
Thanks, Sam. Coach Dearman is got an uphill battle, but Josh Looney, the athletic director, reaffirmed his belief in Coach, and his message, it seemed, was, he said it over and over again today, the internal factors from an athletic standpoint, from a football team standpoint, like how Coach Dearman is running things, how he's managing his players, how he's handling NIL and fundraising, all of that seems to be going well. Right. The product on the field has just not lived up to the standard. And ultimately, that's what everybody wants, is the product on the field. That's the most important thing, is wins. So the message that we got from Dr. Looney was all these things are lining up. The last domino to fall is the wins on the field, and he's saying this is the year that we're going to have some wins finally fall. I think that it was driving me a little crazy during the conference, the question of what defines success next year, something like that, got asked like 3 or 4 different times in different ways,
and it got answered, and it was not answered with a very long-winded It was a very long-winded response that yielded us no answer.
Right. Yeah.
I think they're all playing the political, like, they don't want to come out and say like, well, we have to win 7 games, or we've got to win at least 5 of our home games, or we have to make the playoffs. I think in a way it's kind of hard to define, because at the Division I level, UNA has not had the same success that they had at the D2 level, and they're seeing other programs. Tarleton State's one of them. Tarleton State came into it after they did. They made it to the quarterfinals of the playoffs. Yeah. So they're seeing all these other programs that came in. West Georgia had a pretty decent year, only just their second year in D1. So they're seeing there's other programs, and UNA has not had the same level of success. So I think they have a number. They probably have an expectation. Yeah. They want to be realistic with it at the same time.
Yeah. And I also think expectations can be a little fluid as you enter the year. I mean, we're in December, and we don't know what next year is going to look like. Like, Coach Dearman is still signing players, still signing transfers,
signing coaches.
Signing coaches.
We heard today.
Yeah. they're not going to be able to practice and even get a look at their stadium until I don't know, next summer maybe. Hopefully it's ready. They still got a long way to go. It's still a big mud hole right now.
Well, September 19th is their first game. It's been announced not officially announced, but Josh Looney, athletic director, said a couple times now. September 19th against Alcorn State will be the opener.
At
Bank Independence.
The inaugural football game at Bank Independence Stadium. So that's exciting, and that's great that we're doing that. But that's going to be new to the coaches, the players, the band, the athletic people behind the scenes. That's going to be new for everyone. And so I think expectations can be a little fluid based on how all these external factors go. And there are internal factors that you can control that will help your output on the field. And so I think if you control the internal factors, control your players, your schemes, your management, you really work on in-game management. Coach Dearman's had some in-game management issues, I think. If you work on all those things and you put a product on the field that is noticeably better, I think that's success. Obviously, wins need to come, and I think they will. But I think it's hard to put an exact number of wins, be like, this is the benchmark of wins, 5 or 6 or 7 wins. I think it's hard to put that benchmark because I think you can have success, while going 5 and 7. I think you can have success while going 6 and 6. It doesn't need to be an 8 and 4, 10 and 2 type year to be like, oh yeah, this is what we're looking for. Did I just say they went 2 and 10 this year? Is that right? So
2 and 10. Both those wins came at home, but you look at it. Tarleton State finished top 10 in the country. They finished in the quarterfinals. They beat them 61-0. Southern Utah, who just missed getting in, needed double overtime to beat you. Austin P, another team that was pretty close on the road until the second half, and then one of the 4 teams playing in the semifinals needed double overtime to beat you. So there's a lot of that going on at the same time. It's just. They've beaten playoff teams under Dearman, but they've also had some pretty inexplicable losses at the same time. And he said it, and they all said it. It's a consistency issue, and your NIL is one of the biggest in your conference. You're getting a new stadium. All of this revenue is now going to be coming in. You don't have to share it with Brawley Stadium. You don't have to share it with Florence Public Schools anymore.
Important. It's so important.
So it's basically they're at the point now. It's you've got no excuses at this point situation.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think Coach Dearman sees that. I think he's felt that, and it's caused him to also make some changes, right? One of the point of the press conference today was announce a new offensive coordinator, Coach. Do you have his name? Travis
Partridge.
Travis Partridge. Coach Travis Partridge came from Bowling Green this year, and he is the new offensive coordinator hired within this week. So he's already having some offensive meetings, and I guess the big news is that, from what I heard, is that Coach Dearman is giving him the play calling duties, so Coach Dearman can be the manager of the team. He's not worried about calling offensive plays. He's not worried about scheme. He can help game plan throughout the week, but really it seems like he's giving Coach Travis that whole thing too, like game planning and schemes and fits, all that, all those things are going to be up to Coach Partridge, and Coach Dearman is going to be more hands off. He's going to be hands off with the quarterback. He's going to let Coach Partridge do all that, and I think that's going to go a long way. I really do.
He needs to be more of a CEO.
He does,
and he said it because I asked the question. That's the one I really wanted to get out. I knew the new offensive coordinator was coming in. I'm like, okay, well, is he going to call plays? Well, he answered that before I had it. Okay, well, is this something that you wanted to do? This is something that you needed to do. He didn't. He said he didn't need to do this, but he wanted to do this because he thought it'd be better talking to a lot of people, a lot of his mentors, and he's right. And what's the one thing we said about Josh Heupel at Tennessee?
He needs to do the same thing. He needs to game manage and not worry about the next play call.
Exactly. And I think kudos to Brent Dearman for realizing that's what he needs to do. I can't do this and I can't do that. And he's talking you can't do the recruiting, you can't do the game plan, you can't do all the NIL stuff, you can't do all of that and call plays at the same time and be effective at it. So, I think he's realizing the state of where college football is right now. You can't do those sort of things. Even at the FCS level, you can't do those sort of things.
Yeah. And he's already made note that Coach Partridge has already had a couple of offensive meetings, and Coach Dearman's like, I haven't even been part of that. I'm worried about.
He's made sure he doesn't.
He doesn't want to be in that. He's like, I'm more worried about recruiting, transfer portal, all these things. Did you see Coach Dearman's Twitter or X got hacked?
No.
It did. He's tweeting out videos of him with the new stadium and selfies and videos, him saying "Roar Lions" every time they get like a new commit or something. And then next thing you know, he's selling Bitcoin and talking about posting pictures of whatever stocks and whatever. I was like, I think he got hacked. So if you follow Coach Dearman on X, you might need to find his new handle. But yeah, he's given it up. He's made changes. He needs to. If you're worried about game management, clock management, if you're worrying about substitutions and stuff, you can't be worried about the play calling. Right. Play calling is going to take you away from all that.
Exactly.
You got play calling. You got to think a play ahead.
Right.
It's like
absolutely
as this play is running, you got to be like, okay, if this gets 5 yards, what am I calling next? If this gets 20 yards, what am I calling next? You're so involved in play calling that you can't worry about the clock. Yeah. You can't worry about subs. You can't worry about chewing a ref out that needs to be chewed out.
He has no problem doing that.
Yeah, he gets into it. Yeah. I wish Josh Heupel would do the same thing.
Well, it's like, and you mentioned a good part of it, like when they're on the sidelines. If you're the play caller, you need to be in those huddles with them on the sidelines. He can't do that. He's the head coach. He's got to pay attention what the defense is doing. He's got to be there just in case the D coordinator is like, man, we didn't get our subs to call the timeout.
Yeah.
All of that. So he's got to be all involved with that. Yeah. So, he's making the right move at the end of the day, in my opinion, that this is the best way to handle it.
It is. I'm looking forward to it. Coach Partridge didn't have the most success. Here's the disclaimer. He didn't have great success at Bowling Green, I don't think. And he got into that a little bit.
First year into that, and he did delve into that. But success at UT Martin.
Yes.
And they had a pair of All-American running backs, ran the ball effectively with a good offensive line. He goes to Tennessee State with Eddie George. They have a really good quarterback, really good skill guys, throw the ball all over the yard, make the playoffs at a traditional HBCU that moved into a different conference. So if you're a Lions fan and this guy's coming from an FBS school and you're going, okay, well, this guy knows how to adjust to what he has. The goal now is to go get some dudes to make this work.
I think it helps that he's been coaching within the region, like the Tennessee Valley area, because UNA is never going to go and get big time recruits anywhere. Like I think they got to recruit within the Tennessee Valley, within Alabama,
and recruit within the margins of it. As well.
Absolutely. You got to recruit those areas and those margins well. And Coach Partridge, being from this area, already being up in West Tennessee and in Nashville, in Kentucky, I think he already probably has some connections, some contacts that he's able to make, and he'll probably be able to leverage.
There's good talent around here, man.
Yeah, there really is.
There really is. When I look, I was taking a look at their schedule because they've already released their conference schedule. They lose all the Utah teams this year, so they have. I'm trying not to burp. 3 home games, 3 away games. It's a 17 league. All the Utah schools went to the Southland Conference or the new WAC. Something like that. Let's look on. Let's see. It's not saying. No, that's wrong. Crap. Here we go. All these dumb ads that pop up on all of these websites. Come on, work with me here. Now they still got them listed in the UAC in all the ones I've looked at, but when they do have they're going to start the season at Arkansas. Then they go to southeastern Louisiana. That's a remake for a game that should have happened a while ago. But, when you switch conferences as many times as they did, kind of take some of that out. Alcorn State, so that's 8. They've got still 2 more games or a couple more games left to put on that schedule or just haven't been announced yet. Yep. So they've got Eastern Kentucky, Central Arkansas, West Georgia on the road, Abilene Christian, Austin Peay, and Tarleton State at home. So those are the 9 games, the least we know of right now.
Yeah.
And they're going to get 6 at home, which is the most they've had in the D1 era.
Yeah, that's a tough home slate. You mentioned it. That's a tough home slate. But 6 games at home in a new stadium, that's going to go a long way. And from athletic department side and revenue and getting people on campus, that's going to go a long way. 6 games at home is it's a tough schedule, but it's a really good opportunity.
And they talk personnel-wise, Destin Wade coming back. You got your running back coming back. You got depth at the offensive line. They'll have to find some guys at receiver. Their top receivers are all graduating. I think he said their punters going to the portal. Not a miss, to be honest. Every game
he was like so hot and cold. Like
no kidding.
He'd have like a record 76-yard punt, and then
the next one's 20 yards.
Yeah, the next one he mishits it, and it was just
you're not missing. I don't know. Did he say he was an All-American or he made some list?
Yeah, he might have made all like first team UAC or something like that.
Yeah, he made some list, but every game that I watch, I'm like, this guy's winning awards. No disrespect. I'm just
he had some struggles, and his highs were high, his lows were low. We'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they did kind of hammer on that, especially the offensive coordinator. Like, hey, we have a great offensive line. Like they praised the depth that's been built at the offensive line, and it seems like is it Destin Wade? Is that right?
Destin Wade.
He is the guy. It seems like he's got the keys to the car, and they know going into next year, Wade's the guy, and then John Austin Wood. Is that correct?
He's the backup.
He's the backup.
He struggled coming in when who was it? West Georgia. He came in when Wade got hurt, and then the Tarleton State game wasn't great. But Southern Utah, he looked really,
Southern Utah, the last game of the year,
good.
Man, they ran the offense really well. So those are key. If you got to have 2 areas that are going well for an offensive minded coach, like you want the offensive line and the quarterback to be good. So they got those 2 things. Like now they got to go find some receivers.
And at the end of the day, before we move on to the CFP here, Bryant, they got to win. This is year 4. You're moving into the new stadium. You've done all these things. You got everything set up, and the revenue stream wise, you've beaten some of these teams, or you've had them down to the wire. 2 years ago, Abilene Christian comes into your home as a top 10 team, and you didn't just beat them; you beat them pretty handily. That wasn't a fluke. And I think earlier in the year it was they beat Chattanooga, who made it to the quarterfinals as well.
I think
so you beat 2 quarterfinal teams in your building pretty handily. I mean, they weren't flukes. So I think it's consistency, playing great, and just getting guys that can compete with those guys and be better than those guys.
Getting and keeping the guys. Like I know there are so many things that Coach Dearman has to deal with as far as transfer and tampering. Like it's kind of been a big to do.
That happens here. Too. In our high schools. Don't act like I don't know.
It absolutely does. So there are a lot of things that Coach Dearman has to worry about with all these external factors, but I think he's controlling the internal ones well, and I think he's building. And UNA has to come back at some point. Right now, I kind of see UNA as like the old relic that's on the shelf. It's got some dust on it, but it's like, wow, this is really cool. Like you remember all these times back in the 90s, and you remember all these great and wonderful things, and you just see it, and you're looking up at it, and you're like, when do you get this and shake the dust off of it, make it shiny and new again? 100%. And I think they're trying to do that, and Coach Dearman needs to get some wins to make it shiny and new, to inject some more excitement into this. The new stadium is going to be cool, but that's eventually going to wear off if the wins don't follow. And I mean, Coach Dearman knows this. Like he knows that he needs to win. So
he's got a sense of urgency. He's making staff changes. He's making kind of some philosophy changes, which is great. Which is that's a guy that recognizes what I am doing. Okay, maybe from the administrative standpoint, it's good. Maybe from a foundation standpoint, that's great. But now, like that's got to translate to wins, and there's some things I need to fix along the way to make that happen. So, all right, Brian, we already ran through all the commercials, and before I break another light in this place, let's get into the CFP. It starts Friday night. We actually got a couple decent bowl games going in. Tonight we've got Missouri and Arkansas State, and after a 3-0 start to bowl season for me, Brian, I dropped both of them last night. Old Dominion, how about that, man?
Yeah.
Good win against USF Louisiana. I think they outgained Delaware by like 250 yards, but only scored 13 points. Their quarterback's name, great name, Lunch Winfield.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Lunch. He wasn't delivering the lunch. But
I wonder how many times you heard that growing up.
Who knows? But we got Missouri and Arkansas State in the Xbox Bowl. Then Friday, Kennesaw State and Western Michigan, two really good Group of 5 teams squaring off. Then you got Memphis and NC State in the Gasparilla Bowl. That's going to be a lot of fun. But the playoff starts at Oklahoma. Start of the CFP, and a good one, and a rematch but this time the rematch isn't in Tuscaloosa. It's in Norman as the Crimson Tide visits the Sooners.
Yeah, that's honestly probably my most exciting game of the weekend. I mean,
probably the best.
I think it is.
You can probably put Miami and A&M in that.
Miami and A&M's close second for me.
Yeah.
I think I'm excited to watch this rematch the most. At first I was like, we just watched this game not too long ago, but now I'm like, I'm getting a little more invested into it.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's earned the right to host the playoff game over Alabama.
Finished great.
And finished great. Beat Alabama head-to-head. We'll see if Ty Simpson's feeling okay, because the rumors is that he hurt his back in the Iron Bowl and kind of gutted through it. But we'll see if he's 100%. Because ultimately, I think Ty's turnovers were the deciding factor in that first game. He had some bad turnovers, and they couldn't run the ball well. So we'll see how good of a coach Kalen DeBoer is to scheme around their flaws. It was evident what their flaws were in the first game. Let's see if it's the same old song and dance or if they come out different. I expect things to be different. I think this is going to be a different matchup. I think Alabama's going to have success throwing the ball around if Ty's fully healthy. I think they'll have some success running the ball, spreading the ball out. And ultimately, if they have success doing that, then maybe they can get the run game going after the secondary. I don't think the run game can be primary. We've seen that all year.
They can't run the ball.
They can't.
And you're not running against these guys.
No, you're not. Yeah. So I don't think that's primary. But can the run game be secondary? Can you get 3.5, 4 yards on first down?
Yeah.
Can you get that on second down to make it 3rd and short instead of living in 3rd and long all night?
Right.
I don't know. Who did I pick? I picked Oklahoma. I'm leaning Alabama now. I'm talking myself into it.
I went chalk every home team this weekend, but I just go back, and after seeing them in person, how good Oklahoma's defense is.
Yeah.
It's really good. You can't run the ball on them. That defensive line gets after the quarterback so well that they really don't blitz much because they don't need to blitz much. My key to this, Bryant, is can John Mateer give you 200 yards total offense?
Yeah.
However he gets it. I'm asking 150 through the air, 50 on the ground, because if he can be consistent and consistently okay to good, and he can get you 200 yards of total offense, the rest of the offense feeds off that. That keeps your defense off the field and well rested and able to attack what Alabama's going to do to them. So I think Mateer's the biggest key in all of this.
That's a good word. That's a good word. And he's had extra weeks for his hand to finally heal up. He's had a little bit of a break, and that was the big story with Mateer. He was setting the world on fire, and then he missed a week or two because of his hand. He wound up beating Tennessee with a broken hand. But I give all
this defense beat
Tennessee. I give the credit to the defense and the kicker. Here's another thing. They have a kicker with an iron leg. I
don't care how high he hikes up those legs.
Pulling him up. Knee pads are optional.
That boy can kick it.
Knee pads are optional. He's wearing shorts from you saw coaches and players wearing from 1980. You see the old pictures of my dad.
Bike shorts.
Yeah, the bike shorts.
I don't know how those things were comfortable, man.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The material did not breathe, and you have to button them.
Yeah, that's just
awful.
Yeah, either way. So that's what he looks like walking out there. He looks like he's got the bike shorts on.
He's just.
But man, he's got a leg of Sebastian Janikowski. He can kick the absolute piece out of a ball. So. Maybe that's all they need to do. Maybe Mateer just needs to be good.
Okay to good.
Good.
He doesn't need to be great, but he cannot be average to awful.
Yeah.
He can't be.
Needs to get him in the red zone.
Yeah.
Needs to score a touchdown or two. Needs to let the kicker take care of the rest.
Yeah.
You know, if they score,
Yeah.
what's the number you think? 24? You think Alabama can score 24
Well,
against Oklahoma's defense?
The total over-under is the lowest of the 4 games. It's 40.5. So, yeah, I honestly, 20. You get the 20.
First one to 20?
First one to
Yeah.
20 wins.
Yeah, I would not put it over 20, 24, 23, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Because the way as good as that defense is, Alabama, out offensed them by 200 yards
Yeah.
the last time they played. But
Yeah.
Oklahoma's defense is so good at getting turnovers.
Yeah, that's
so
what they
good
live
at
off
just
of.
so good in putting you in just awful
Mm-hmm.
spots. Just when, because they did it to Tennessee, just when you think that offense is rolling, it's going. We've got you figured out. Corner blitz or linebacker in an open hole. Boom, here it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there's a pick six or a scoop and score the other way.
Yeah, that's what they live off of is those turnovers. So can Ty Simpson take care of the ball? If not, then it's going to go much like the first game.
Yeah.
If they can take care of the ball, closer, more interesting.
Right.
You hate to say that cliche, whoever wins the turnover battle, but
It's the truth.
it's such a truth.
It's a cliche because
It's
They're
true.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works. It fits. Home field advantage, I guess, didn't matter in the first game because Oklahoma won. You gotta imagine maybe it plays into Oklahoma's hand. Not maybe, it probably plays into Oklahoma's hand. The fact that Alabama has to travel to them. It's not a cold game. It's going to be temperatures in the 40s or 50s, somewhere in there. So not bad for Oklahoma. It's not Tennessee rolling in Ohio State last year, kind of cold.
Right.
So the weather should be pretty good for an offensive game if they want it to be that way. But like we've been talking about, Oklahoma's defense is going to try to stymie the run game, get in Ty Simpson's face, slow things down.
52 degrees there right now, which it probably might warm. But again, it's nighttime.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's a lot like Tennessee.
Yeah.
I've been out there. I played college baseball out there. So basically, whatever kind of weather we get here, they get there for the most part.
Geographically speaking, I guess they're on the same latitude.
Except for those Smoky Mountains, it's kind of
you get a little upper elevation in East Tennessee, but
kind of flat. So what we get here, they mainly get in Oklahoma. So so you still sticking with the Sooners, or is Bama?
You taught me into keeping my pick with Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep my pick with Oklahoma. I think it's closer, though. Is there a spread?
1.5. You can't get it unless you go half a point. You can't get any closer than that.
No, you can't. I'll take the Sooners. I'll keep the Sooners. I'm not changing my pick.
No. All right, let's go to the first game. It's crazy. The two best games we're getting right off the get-go, Friday night and Saturday afternoon. Miami at A&M. Miami has been there recently. I think it was a couple years ago. But A&M 3.5-point favorites. This 48.5 total points. I kind of don't know what to think about this because Miami's defense is good.
Yeah.
Their offense is unpredictable. A&M is very consistent, but I've said all year, I think A&M's better on the road than what they are at home offensively. Defensively, I think they're better at home, not as good on the road, but offensively, they're better on the road than what they are at home.
Yeah, for some reason, I remember A&M's defense being pretty good. Am I just imagining that?
It is.
They've been strong,
but
have
they've given up points to pretty above average and
40
good
gave up
offenses.
40 to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
42 to Arkansas. Yeah, 30 to South Carolina, 25 to LSU. Most recently, 27 to Texas. So maybe not as good as I was thinking. Can we say similar to the Alabama game, quarterback play is going to be paramount for Miami? Like Carson Beck, who's going to show up? Are we going to get good Carson Beck or bad? Marcel Reed's been playing pretty consistent all year.
He's been great all year.
Yeah, he's been steady. Hasn't been blowing anyone's doors off, but he's kind of a runner, right? He's going to get his yards on the ground.
Right.
And then they're going to get the ball into the hands of Concepcion.
As they should.
Yeah, he is a great athlete. Let's see. Matchup predictor, ESPN has A&M favored 54.3% to win the game. Over under, what did that go? Total 48.5. So a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And then A&M's got 3.5
Yeah.
at home. I think A&M's going to be ready to go, charged up. I think they take care of business.
I'm with you too. They have one slip up the entire season there at the end, against Texas. I think they're going to be ready to go. I think Miami is just way too unpredictable offensively. I know their offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson. He's in that Holgerson, Mike Leach tree that chokes in big games. I think they're going to do the same here. Their defense is going to keep them in it. I think 48.5 is a pretty good spot to be.
Yeah.
But for me, if A&M gets to 30, they win and they win comfortably. But it's kind of like, okay, who's the first to 28 points? They're going to win if they get there. But, Miami's Carson Beck, their offensive coordinator, the whole offense is way too inconsistent. But if A&M comes out and they feed off that crowd and they want to prove that they're better than what they showed at the end of the year, it could be a 1-point game or a 21-point game.
I think so.
In my opinion.
The crowd is going to have a big factor. Some of those Miami players haven't ever experienced what they're about to walk into.
Exactly.
And they're going to be, A&M's going to be ready. They're a hungry fan base. So they're going to be ready walking into this game to make things loud and obnoxious and hard on Miami. Carson Beck, we've mentioned, has played in the SEC. He's going to be okay. But the other players might not be able to get their bearings underneath them. We're kind of harping on Carson Beck for being inconsistent. I didn't know his stats, Marcel Reed's stats, are actually very, very similar.
They are. Yeah.
25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Carson Beck, 3,072 yards. Marcel Reed, 2,932. So only at a disparity of about 140 yards there. About the same amount of pass attempts. Carson Beck has a few more completions, so his completion average per attempt is going to be a little lower. That was a lot closer than I thought, though.
Yeah, well, thing is, and you mentioned it, and it's right, he's been steady. He's been consistent where Carson Beck is beating up ACC opponents, but the worst of him has been in their two losses to Louisville and to SMU. That was the worst part of Carson Beck, whereas I think Reed didn't look great against Texas, but he's been steady and consistent in that game.
Yeah, his most recent game, he had interception against, what am I looking at? Yeah, recent game, Carson Beck. They played Pitt. Is that right? They finished up the season versus Pitt?
Yeah,
at Pitt.
At Pitt, yeah.
3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's been throwing a lot of good games stat-wise. Going back to the 1st of November, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against SMU. That's not great. 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's the 5 games in November. So 3 interceptions in that month. 2 came at the first game at the first of the month. So maybe he's been playing better, throwing some better balls.
Yeah. It's we'll have to see. Have to see. It's going to be 67, 70-ish degrees there in College Station on.
They're going to be ready to go
on Saturday afternoon. So let's go to the other 2 games. Tulane at Ole Miss. Another rematch as Tulane went to Ole Miss earlier in the year. Got beat pretty bad. They're 17.5-point dogs in this game, 56.5 total points. However, it's a different Ole Miss team. And Lane is out. Pete Golding is in. Yeah, it's a lot of the same team. However, all the drama they dealt with coming into this. They were a different team at that point. Tulane is a different team from that point. There is just I don't know. I think Ole Miss wins. I think Tulane covers the spread just because there's just too much that has happened, and this is a different Ole Miss team and a different Tulane team than the last time they met.
And the spread is
17.5.
Yeah, I think they cover. I think that's a good call. Right. A cover, but no outright win.
Right.
there has been so many external factors. If I use that's the buzzword for me today,
Yeah.
external factors.
Okay.
There's
It's
been
allowed.
there's been so many of those affecting Ole Miss, or that's got to affect them. Losing your head coach has to affect you.
Right.
But this game earlier in the year wasn't even close. It was 45-20. So what difference does a head coach make? Is it a 25-point difference? It's played in the same place, right? That they played at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So it's just a repeat. I don't see how things are 25 points different than last time. I think a cover is possible. Maybe Tulane's going to smell some blood in the water. Maybe they're going to try to come out swinging against Ole Miss and try to get them down early. I feel like that's probably the way their path to victory is, probably coming out, getting an early touchdown, getting an early turnover, a special teams play, something like that has to happen within the first quarter. I don't know if they can grind it out and outscore Ole Miss in the long run.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, I think something weird has kind of got to happen for Tulane to be able to pull this out. Can they get something fluky to happen? Because I don't think they're going to be able to stand up toe to toe and play with Ole Miss. They're just too good. Chambliss.
Yeah,
he's a good quarterback, and they've been able to go from Dart to Chambliss and really not miss a beat, if not improve the offense. I haven't really looked at their numbers, but record-wise, they're just as good.
Right.
So Ole Miss is I want to keep them for my pick.
So our nightcap, James Madison at Oregon. The Dukes 21-point underdogs, 47.5 total points. Ah, man, a lot of people talking a lot of trash on James Madison. Because could this be some motivation for them to come out and at least make this somewhat competitive against the Ducks?
Maybe. I feel similarly like I do with the Ole Miss Tulane game. Like something fluky has to happen here. They've had a great season. Hats off to them, but I don't think they can keep up with Oregon. It's at Oregon. It's at night. The fans are going to be ready. The team's going to be locked in and ready. I think Dan Lanning's a good coach. Like he cracks me up getting on his interviews sometimes, and he looks like he's just sniffed a line of coke. if I can say that, like that's kind of the word. Like he looks like he's like just high on something sometimes, and he just
my goodness,
like ready to go. Like that's the attitude that Oregon has. Like that your coach, your team reflects the attitude of their coach, and I think their team plays that way sometimes too. Their quarterback's thrown for 24 touchdowns, been protective of the ball, only 6 interceptions. JMU does have a 1,200-yard rusher, so maybe JMU can control the pace, run the ball, grind some things out. Maybe that is their path forward. I don't know. What do you think?
JMU is so creative offensively.
Yeah,
they do a lot of different things that, frankly, the Power 4 teams don't see on a regular basis, which is kind of what they run a lot of what Kurt Signetti did there. They kind of just picked up where he left off over there, maybe even expanded on it a little bit.
Yep.
There's just so creative offensively. My worries for the Dukes here are, can your defense get enough stops?
Yeah. And
can your offensive line hold up against that type of pressure? Because the stiffest test that they got was Louisville, and Louisville, frankly, does not have a really good defensive line, got 6 sacks on them.
Yeah.
Again, that was early in the year. I think it was game 2 or 3 for James Madison, and it's a little bit different now, but you're going up against draft picks. You're going up against a elite Power 4 program. I'm just wondering, do they throw the book at these guys? Do they just say, you know what, whatever, we're we have nothing to lose. We're 21-point dogs. We're going to come out swinging.
Yeah.
We're going to throw everything we can at you, and if it works, great. If not, whatever. At least we tried.
Yeah, nothing to lose, especially from the coach's perspective too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already got his next job lined up, right? So, yeah, that makes sense. The Louisville game you're referencing, it was 28-14. That was the second game of the season back in September. I don't think Louisville's no slouch. I think they're a decent ACC team, but James Madison has definitely improved since then.
Yeah.
They scored 63 versus Old Dominion, 52 versus Texas State.
Old Dominion, who's now won 10 games.
Yeah.
Let's put that up.
Yeah. sorry, 35 against Marshall. 35-23 against Marshall.
I'm just happy we held them to that.
58 points against App State. 24 against Washington State. 59 and 31. They could score some points.
Yeah. I mean, they're just, if you watch them, if you really go look at some of them, they're so creative offensively. The way they scheme guys open and the way that they get guys in certain positions, it's really impressive what they do.
Yeah.
And they got some dudes. They got some dogs there. And again, they're playing with house money. No one predicts us to win. Most of them aren't even predicting us to cover. What do we do? I mean, you're losing your coach. Tulane's in the same boat. No one predicts us to win.
Yeah.
Or losing our coach at the end of this. Dude, let's just go out and swing hard, swing the bat.
I can now see. You've talked me into seeing a path for them to win. I think
I'm not saying they're going to win.
I don't think. I didn't take you for that, but there is. Like the Little Giants, like
I
you
love
remember
that movie.
You beat Kevin down Cherry Hill, like that, one time. All it takes is one time. You beat Matt and Brad in the turd toss, whatever that line is.
Every time I think of that movie, every time I put a shirt on my kids and they like freak out before I can actually get over their big bulbous heads. They're just like this, and I just think of the little guy. I can't see with this thing on.
His mom sends him to practice wrapped in like memory foam or something like that. Bubble wrap, yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
I beat him in the turd toss. What was her name? The linebacker. Was it the refrigerator? No, Icebox.
Icebox,
yes.
Yeah. Becky, I think.
Becky,
the Icebox. Roche, maybe.
Rochelle or Roche or something like that.
Yeah. Kevin O'Shea. The O'Shea brothers, right?
Yeah.
Man, I want to go back and watch that movie
I
now.
am too. I can see with this thing on.
That's awesome.
Annexation of Puerto Rico.
That's right. They bring in John Madden and like Emmitt Smith and the Hall of Fame guys to draw up a play, and they're drawing up the Fumblerooski. Yeah, and they call it the annexation of Puerto Rico. That's awesome.
Such a genius play.
That is. That was so funny.
Anyways, but
James Madison has one time. James Madison. They need to watch that movie one time. They can beat it.
Or just like find it, like watch 300, watch Miracle, watch all of the the comeback movies, all of those things. Just quickly, okay, so the winner of that game gets Texas Tech. The winner of Bama, Oklahoma gets Indiana. I kind of feel bad for Indiana. Yeah. Maybe the two best teams of this field you got to get, but they're in that we don't care who you play. They play mode, and I'm with them there. Tulane, Ole Miss gets Georgia, and Miami and A&M gets. Speaking of, my gosh, the top two teams are the ones that are not that could potentially not get a Power 5 team in that spot. It's weird how the playoff works.
Say that one more time. That the two top teams,
Ohio State and Indiana, 1 and
Indiana, 1 and 2.
The two are going to get the winners of probably the two best games we're going to get that don't involve group of 5 teams.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's kind of like Oregon last year was going to get the winner of Ohio State, Tennessee.
What kind of reward is that for being a top seed? Yeah, that makes
exactly.
Yeah.
Arizona State got Texas, which they should have won that game. They didn't. Texas.
Those are the New Year's Eve and the New Year's Day bowls, right? Yeah. Those are going to be some good games. Yeah. Really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this weekend too. But man, I'm excited to watch Indiana and Texas Tech play again.
Yes, for me, Bryant, I'm just throwing this out here. I'm rooting for the group of 5 teams. The Joel Klatt trash talk, all the Paul Feinbaum, all of these guys, I'm not predicting they're going to win. I'm taking the other guys because I'm going chalk all home teams this weekend. Yeah. But for someone who grew up 40 miles from Marshall, who covers UNA, who's seen a lot of small schools and loves Division II, loves the NAI and the Division III ranks. I just want to see the little guy go out there and just play their rear ends off. Yeah. And if you win, if one of those two win, preferably James Madison, to prove a point here and come out and just show everybody like, hey, we're serious around these parts. Mm-hmm. You guys think you're big boys, but we're serious around these parts. Just to shut up that group will be the best thing ever. They don't even necessarily need to win. Yeah. If one of these two can take these teams into overtime, if both of them can take them into overtime, it's like, okay, maybe this gap you all talk about might not be as large as what you think it is.
I would be I would have to walk in with some sorries to hand out because I'm complaining about the process that has these two teams in the playoff in the first place. They could prove everyone wrong by winning. That's all it takes.
That's all.
One time.
Again, we're not predicting it, but we do have the FCS playoffs, the semifinals, a big rivalry. It's one of the best. If you guys, I think it's 3:00 on ABC, so it's going to be after Miami and A&M. Just keep it on ABC, because Montana State, those two are hated rivals, even though they're in different conferences, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun between those two. Bryant, you know how much it costs to get into that game?
Is it at Montana?
It's at Montana State.
It's at Montana State. I think I've seen the pictures of Montana with like the mountain in the background.
Montana State is somewhat similar, but it's more on flatter ground, though.
I really don't have. If it's a rivalry game in the FCS playoffs, I imagine it's going to be up there, like $200 get in.
It's $654.
Wow.
It's almost triple the amount of any of the CFP games.
Wow.
That's how big of a game this is.
Montana State. I wonder how many they can fit.
I think
in that
it's like 25,000 because Montana is bigger. I think it seats about 40. But I think
20,000.
I thought knew it was around there.
And
there could be snow. It's 36 degrees there right now.
Yeah, they do have kind of a similar. Montana, like the mountains, like right there. Like you could throw, like a football from the top and hit the side of the mountain.
UNA's played there.
Montana State. It looks like there's some more mountains off in the distance, but not still scenic and beautiful.
Right.
But have you ever been out there to Montana?
I have not. The furthest west I have gone is Arizona and Idaho. So I'd have to fly over Montana to get to Idaho.
I went skiing there with my in-laws and my fiance at the time, now my wife. It was beautiful. Loved being out there and took some time in Yellowstone actually this past summer. So it's a great area.
All right, awesome, Bryant. Well, that we'll be in here on. Well, no, we're not here next week because it's Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'm in West Virginia.
I'll be covering a game on Monday with, I believe, Clint.
Clint Brazier. Yeah. God bless your heart. Please have your mute button ready for whenever. I love him. Clint will be great. He won't give you any trouble. So for Brian Gobble, I'm AJ Good. Enjoy the holidays. Enjoy Christmas. We will see you guys the following Monday. If I can get to the right button. Here we go.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.